Hey everyone, I'm Jo Muirhead and this is the Entrepreneurial Clinician podcast. Well, welcome to this episode of You, the Entrepreneurial Clinician podcast, which I have titled Abundance, Your Lifestyle Choice. So in the last episode, I shared with you 10 ways scarcity is showing up. And, it's a bit of a heavy episode. I promise you, we haven't got 10 ways. It's not going to take you 10 things. There's not a checklist that you can check off at the end of this podcast and go, hurrah, I've arrived at abundance. That's not how it works. But if you haven't listened to last week's episode around scarcity and how it's turning up for you, could I encourage you to do that? What I would love for you to do is listen to this podcast, then go back and listen to the previous podcast, and then come back and listen to this one again. And as I go through this podcast, you'll see why I encourage you to do that. So this episode, I want to share with you how we can develop a lifestyle of abundance. That is the first clue. It's a lifestyle. It's not positive thinking. It's not a deck of affirmation cards. And heck, it is not a destination and is not attachment to the outcome. So if you've come to this podcast episode today thinking that this is going to be the thing that breaks you through to earning $1 million in the next 24 hours, you are sadly mistaken. Because if I promised to do that, I would be incredibly incongruent with myself. You would call me out on it and the world would be a bad place. So I'm not going to do that. What I do want to do is create communities of health professionals all over the world who are committed to working out how we do this incredibly important work, serving the people who need our assistance, creating vibrant, healthy lives that our clients actually want to be a part of. This is about learning how we can do this work without sacrificing ourselves to the work. Thank you, Emmy, for that lovely little introduction there. So I have two puppies at my feet today. We have the Smudge and Emmy from next door. Neither of them want to go outside and leave me alone. So we are going to work out how we can record a podcast with two puppies in the house. Hopefully they won't get under my feet because I'm using my standing desk again today because I want to get some energy happening. So abundance is a lifestyle choice, and therefore it requires thoughts, habits, actions, experiences that all reinforce your abundant life. So if you've seen 4 clients today, or if you're going to see 4 clients today, you've got at least 4 hours of scarcity turning up in your experience. You will somaticize this. This will turn up in your body because we are so smart as health professionals. We can bypass our thinking, put on our health professional face, pretend it's not affecting me, but it lands in our body. So 4 hours of clinical work is not going to be counteracted by you saying your abundance affirmation once this morning when you woke up. It's not going to change too much. Not to mention, you probably woke up tired, had a staff member call in sick, maybe some unexpected bills arrived, no one's thought about dinner tonight, you're still tired, and who the heck didn't refill the toilet paper in your cubicle, and what the heck do you mean there's no toilet paper left? Yeah, saying your abundance affirmation once a day through gritted teeth, I am abundant, isn't going to cut it. If you truly want to move from a scarcity lifestyle through to an abundance lifestyle, this requires lifestyle change. And I'm using this terminology because all of us have worked with clients who want the one-step wonder that's going to bring about the transformational change, but they don't want to break the habits of the past 30 years. Trying to get somebody to stop smoking, trying to get somebody to lower their cholesterol, trying to get somebody to decrease their weight, for health reasons, lifestyle change. Can I say it any louder for the people in the back of the room? This requires lifestyle change. And I'm not going to give you things that I was given in the beginning to help me reinforce my sense of abundance, because some of these actions, like going and spending thousands of dollars on leather goods at high-end fashion stores, did nothing to help me with my attitude of abundance and did everything to help me reinforce my attitudes of not being good enough, poor management, and I suck as a human, because I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready to start making those types of purchases and incorporate them and integrate them into my life. So I've actually done the work and thought about what is it that I have had to do in the past 3 years since COVID and cancer to apprehend my scarcity, because I tell you, COVID and cancer really brought my scarcity work home. It was very comfortable in my body. It turns up all the freaking time. This year, I have worked really hard on apprehending scarcity in my life. So the first way that we can do this, and then one of the most, there's 5, they're all equally important. No, you don't have to follow them in order. No, you don't have to do all of them. This gives you somewhere to start. Number 1, act in the way that is congruent to what you say you want. If you want higher quality staff who want to work hard, then become the leader who attracts this type of talent. Build the culture in your business that retains this type of talent, which means you need to become the leader of this type of talent. You want to sleep well and become more energized? Well, actually learn what's sapping your energy. You want to stop wasting time chasing people who owe you money? Pay your bills on time. I cannot tell you how many times I have worked with health professionals who tell me that they have poor cash flow, that they haven't got enough money, who do not pay their bills on time. They will be the first ones to complain when clients no-show, late cancel, and don't honor a cancellation fee. Learn to pay your bills on time. Just do it. It's a discipline, it's a habit, it's a commitment, it's a lifestyle choice. This learning to act in a way that is congruent with what I say I want has been a huge eye-opener for me in 2023. Right now, we are in May, and I have been consistently auditing my behaviors this year to find out where they do not match or they're incongruent with what I say I want. It is eye-opening. It is amazing how many behaviors are in my life that reinforce scarcity when I say I want to live a life of abundance. Number 2, express gratitude for every dollar you receive, every deposit into your account, every gift card given. Denise Duffel Thomas taught me this many, many years ago. Stop looking at what you don't have and start being grateful and expressing gratitude for everything that comes in. Everything. 10 cents, 20 cents, a Starbucks gift card, an Amazon gift card, a gift of flowers, a gift of a book, the money that your client paid, the back pay that somebody owed you. Express gratitude for it daily. Don't just think it, express it. Write it out. You need a motor action. You need a motor action to get this into your body. This totally changes your relationship with your bank account and with your cash flow, let me assure you. If you can start expressing gratitude for every dollar or every gift that comes your way, wait for more to come. Wait for more to come. It will start coming. Now, number 3, I can assure you that we will not be given any more resources, whether it's money, time, people, energy, until we have learned to be effective with what we've already been given. In my faith of Christianity, this is called stewardship. And I can attest to this principle. Until we learn how to be effective stewards with the resources we have, we will not be given any more. Why would I want to give you $10,000 when you've shown me you can't manage $2,000? Why would I want to give you a waiting list of 20 clients when you've shown me you can't return the calls of the 4 people who have reached out to you and have left messages on your voicemail? Yeah, harsh, but this is how our scarcity turns up and how we're interrupting abundance from becoming a part of our lifestyle. The 4th thing that we can do, we have to surround ourselves with like-minded people. We have to change our sociology. We have been conditioned to think scarcity. I explained that in the last podcast. I'm not going to go over it again now. We've been conditioned, and I've been doing this work for nearly 30 years. I got 30 years of habitual learning to undo. 30 years. This is going to take effort. This is not habitual for me yet. This is a constant choice every day. I need to surround myself with like-minded people, to find the people who want to live abundantly, who will graciously challenge me when my scarcity starts to show. But it's not just the immediate people, the physical, tangible people, because sometimes it's going to be hard, especially in our families. We already shared with you how my family of origin has contributed to my scarcity mindset, but it's also what we listen to. It's also how we participate in line. For example, what memes do you actually find funny? And how are they reinforcing your scarcity mindset? And the 5th way, and perhaps the easiest way to allow abundance to turn up in your life, is to act generously. Now you're going, Jo, I don't have enough money to act generously. Oh my gosh, that's such a limited thinking. Every time I feel the pull of scarcity, especially through comparison, because as I shared last week, it turns up for me that way, I will deliberately become generous. I will think about, what can I share? How can I encourage? Can I write a testimonial or a review? Can I share something that they're offering? Can I share their book or their tools? How can I be generous with what I already have? It does not mean I have to put my hand in my pocket. Sometimes it might. Sometimes that's exactly what it might mean. Other times it's usually an act of generously giving my time, my influence, my energy, sharing with my list, with my social media. Like, you've got no idea how powerful that stuff is when you do it from a place of being generous. And these are not transactional actions. Can you get that? You don't go, I am going to be generous and share this person's great social media post over here, therefore I expect $5,000 in my bank account. If you are still in transactional thinking, you need to go back to the very, very beginning of this podcast and listen to everything again. And sometimes we do need to listen to everything again, because the way we turn up in the world cannot be a transaction. The way we are going to break through, break down, break around, transform, have the things we want in this world is when we understand that we have to live by principles, not by tasks, not by checklists, not by to-do lists. And the way we turn up in the world is not a transaction. You do not get to be generous once and have a lifestyle of abundance. But these 5 actions are incredibly powerful behaviors that we can cultivate into a lifestyle of abundance. When we deliberately use these 5 behaviors, they become habits. It is now so easy for me to be generous. So easy for me to be generous. If you are on my email list, you know how easy it is for me to be generous. If you're a part of my Daring Dozen community or my You the Entrepreneurial community, or you work with me one-on-one, you see every month I'm asking you, what can I share about your stuff this month that allows me to be able to be generous for you? I don't do it because I want you to like me. I do it because I know generosity is that powerful. I know it works. When these behaviors line up with what we say we want, then our resources can flow. Everything starts to feel effortless. The resources can flow because you are no longer rejecting or repelling saying I can't, or I won't, or it won't, it's not fair, I'm not good enough, I'm not worth it. Your sociology, your physiology, your psychology is changing. When your resources flow, you have this posture to be able to receive more. But I'm really curious to know from you at the end of this podcast today, on which of the 5 that I've shared, will it be act in a way that is congruent with what you say you want? Will it be expressing gratitude for every dollar that comes to you? Will it be stewarding and managing the resources that you've already been given well so more can come? Will you surround yourself with like-minded people? And will you act generously? Out of these 5, which one do you want to start with? Which one do you want to give a go for the next 30 days and see what change comes into your world? I would love to know from you which one you're going to try first. So let me know. You can do this in a couple of ways. Number 1, come join the Future Proofing Facebook group over in Facebook. Share in there. Number 2, share it on your social stories, on your social media. Let everybody know you've listened to this podcast today and the number 1 thing you want to share. Now, that is going to require huge amounts of vulnerability, and you might not like the idea of doing that, and that's okay. That's why I give you 2 options. I do look forward to bringing you more of these podcasts. I have some amazing guests lined up to come in the next coming weeks. So look out for some more guest-inspired podcast episodes. And until then, go be your awesome self. Hey, Joe Muirhead here again. Thank you for watching this episode of the Entrepreneurial Clinician. It has been great to share guests, new information, and new ways of thinking with you. I trust that this episode today has inspired you and has helped you to reconnect to your sense of purpose as a health professional and a clinician. Before we move on, just want to remind you that these sessions, these episodes, are provided for educational purposes only. Nothing in these episodes is designed to be treatment specific or a specific recommendation about your health, your wellness, or your finances for your situation specifically. If you need assistance in any of these areas, please reach out to an appropriate professional for you to be able to access the help that you need. If you have enjoyed these episodes and would like to see more, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and make sure you leave me a comment below. And I look forward to bringing you more great, inspiring stories where I get to learn just as much as you do. Until next time, go be your awesome self.